Yo, YouTube, what's good? It's Aeghis. In this video, I just wanted to kind of get like a little intro going here, because I just want to clear up any confusion with this video. So, I was messing around on the PTR of 10.1, which is actually next season's patch. So the patch that came out today, which is when you guys are going to see this video, the patch that we are going to be playing today is 10.0.7. So it's not quite this patch that I'm talking about. So just keep that in mind. You'll see like I'm talking about like Frostbomb and the new tier sets or whatever. Basically the reason I'm making this little intro is because I know there's also going to be a lot of questions about 10.7, but I couldn't do 10.7 testing because the PTR for it didn't have the changes included. So the only thing I could really test was 10.1. If you guys did click on this video because you're curious about what is going to happen to mages in 10.7, what I believe the build will be this build that I'm going to show you on screen right here. It's a you'll play the same way. Basically, what you'll do is you're still going to have your orb go. You're gonna like flurry, veins, orb, lance, blizzard, lance, blizzard. Just do your normal instant cast rotation. But instead of your downtime being filled with trying to get a glacial spike off, it's going to be it's basically you're going to replace that glacial spike cast with a frostbolt cast, and then you'll shatter it with ice nova. And with deep shatter and the 50% frostbolt buff that just hit today, if you guys don't know, the changes basically are glacial spike got a pretty hefty nerf. It was like 15% baseline and then like 15% on the mastery side of things, which actually equates to a lot even if you don't play mastery. So glacial spike overall is not very good anymore. So instead you'll just kind of replace that cast with like a frostbolt. I think there have been some mages that have showed me that they've hit like upwards of 160k frostbolts. And that's even like without the 50% buff. So I think you are going to be able to kind of just replace that. So we're not 100% sure yet. Like, I don't think anyone has this figured out. These are all predictions. But anyways, yeah, that's basically what my prediction is for 10.7. If you guys are wondering, yeah, enjoy the video now. Peace. It's kind of hard to say because, the frostbolt buff, the 50% frostbolt buff is not in on the PTR. So the build that I think will be good doesn't feel good on here. You'll play something, I don't know. There's two different schools of thought with it. So there's hailstones, which means on every one of your ice lances, you're going to generate an icicle. And also when you ice lance, it throws the icicle. Your icicles deal 5% more with this talent, and it also splits. And your icicles deal 10% more with this talent as well. And the more icicles you're generating, the more fingers of frost you're generating from this as well. So I personally think hailstones is really, really good, even as the frostbolt thing, or like, because the only version of caster that kind of works right now is like an instant cast kind of caster. Some mages are doing this where they're dropping hailstones and they're going deep shatter, which increases your frostbolt damage. I have not been able to test it with the 50% because the 50% isn't implemented yet on the PTR, so it feels like ass. Currently, this is what I'm doing, and then what you're doing is instead of glacialing in your downtime, you're casting frostbolts because you have a really high chance to get brain freeze. Brain freeze resets your flurry. So you're like, just to give you like an example rotation, you're gonna do like the normal. This talent is bugged. Hold on, I can't drop my orb on PTR with this talent, unfortunately. Okay, so you're gonna like do the same opener that you would always do. You're just tossing shit, doing your damn. You can you have a new ability called Frostbomb too, which you can really shit on people with, and that'll be primarily what you use your ice novas on. So you shatter it, does 126k. Frostbomb does. And then keep in mind, while you're doing all this damage, your icicles are also pumping. because you are taking hailstones. So you have like way more instant cast damage too. See all these like little numbers? These are your icicles. They're pumping. And then when you do have downtime, then you can cast frost bolts to try to fish for a brain freeze. And the proc rate on brain freeze is actually kind of high when you cast frost bolt. I'm getting a little bit unlucky right now though. So I want a shifting, so I'll just use this. And then that'll hit pretty hard. Veins here. Kind of a feed frostball cast, but I just wanted to. And then you can see I also got a brain freeze from casting Ice Lance there. Shatter that. Frostbomb. 126k. Because your 4-set also says casting Ice Lance on a frozen target has an 8% chance to grant you brain freeze. So you're losing Glacial, but it feels kind of fine because you have a bunch of different ways now to get more flurries, which is gonna like increase your instant cast pressure. This is my opinion so far, by the way. People seem to be really excited about casting frost bolts though. Like a lot of the other mages that have given me their builds and stuff, they're not taking hailstones and they're going into deep shatter, which personally I disagree with, but I think hailstones is just insane. Dude, Searox, I think this build is going to be insane for Frost, where you just don't play Glacial and you kind of also don't play around Frostbolt, and you just do like crazy instant cast damage with hailstones, icicles, and just you're still lancing a lot. Frostbomb hits really hard, yeah. The only issue is that it gets dispelled sometimes. It's like basically what you can think about is Frostbomb is replaced. It's like your Glacial kind of. Like that's what you're gonna use your Ice Nova on. So you like you'll just do like your normal rotation, get your damage rolling right away. I've already generated 2 brain freezes, by the way, from using Ice Lance on my 4-set. Then you can cast it like here. You don't really care about it though, so like you're not trying to like do anything right now. And then you just shatter it last second. That one didn't crit. Brain freeze from my 4-set. Still just pumping this thing. And then here you could cast frost bolts to try to fish for a brain freeze, but that's about it. Like a couple. And you could go into like your shift. You could get this rolling again. Orb. And you still pumping. And then you want to shatter that with Ice Nova. 127k on it. Still blasting. Kind of getting unlucky with brain freezes this time around, unfortunately. So Lance build just got better with the 4-set. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, people are jizzing over this like Frostbolt thing though. I swear it's like, are people delusional and think that they can cast Frostbolts though? Like, when are you ever going to be able to press that button? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Seaworks. Like, you just gotta play all instant casts. And then, like, this is an extra 10 to 20k on your Ice Lances. So even though it says here, like, we've only hit like a 76k, that's also without the 16k Icicle that goes along with it, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Like, a couple mages have sent me builds where it includes like Deep Shatter over Hailstones. And I'm just like, what? I think though, if you can cast, this is going to be really, really good. Flick Ice with Deep Shatter. Because keep in mind, on here, the 50% increase to Frostbolt is not implemented yet. So let's just say like, do you want to just get your bolts rolling? You don't really care at all about Ice Lances because you're trying to stack up Splitting Ice, or Slick Ice rather. You could throw one at the end of your flurry to get the double value from it. So all of these would be hitting 50% harder, and you could, I'm like not critting randomly, but so like 87k is like what? That's 120k with the buff. So I mean, 120k, 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 120. That one would have been like 140. So like there is a place for it. I feel like if you can sit here and cast 800,000 frostbolts in a row, but I think it's objectively worse too because it has a lot of counter synergy with a lot of your talents. Like for example, if you're spamming frostbolt, you're not getting any value out of thermal void because your ice lances are what is increasing your veins. You're not getting value out of chain reaction. You're not getting value out of freezing winds. Like you're not getting value out of splitting. There's like a lot of stuff that kind of feels like dead talents when you try to cast a lot of frostbolts. But if we look here, like that max frostbolt would have been that 87k would have been like 130k or something with the buff in, which is, I mean, that's pretty good. This might be better than Glacial. I was thinking the same, bro. The only issue is that Frostbomb can be dispelled. It's funny because so many mages have come to me with like a Frostbolt build, like, yo, dude, this build's gonna be insane, bro. Like Frostbolt 120k with Ice Form, and I'm like, Ice Form? Yeah, so this is Icy Feet, by the way, which either doesn't work or the wording is terrible. Is dispelled or removed. PvP target dummy, so our PvP talents are active here. Boom. Just gonna make sure I stay in combat to keep my PvP talents enabled here. It gets... There's just no buff. And also when you break it, like with damage, it doesn't do it either. So I think they literally have to get dispelled or use like Tiger's Lust or Avatar or something, which kind of makes it, I don't even know if it's, the reason I'm not running concentrated is because it's bugged, by the way. Like, see, I literally can't use the spell. So assuming you run something like this, I don't even think you'll really play it, even though it does sound really good. This definitely has potential, I can't lie. Like, and then the foreset is kind of cool actually. I personally didn't like it at first, but as long as you're pumping into charring, you have a on-demand hyperthermia basically. So it's kind of cool in my opinion that you have to maintain a Phoenix on the target that you're hitting. I don't know if that's just me that thinks that or what, but because previously like you would just kind of throw them willy-nilly. It didn't feel like a good button ever. It was just like a button that you pressed as you had to. And then see, like, this hyperthermia is going to get chained in. Well, actually, it's not, because I wasn't hitting into a charring. I don't know, it feels like it's going to give you already... Whoa, why did that feel like... Oh, because it's for 6 seconds, I think. Fire looks like it's going to be good. I swear it might. It just needs to not... The only issue is that you have to give up 20% of your HP to be viable, kind of. Because your Ignite is honestly a big part of your damage. Like, it is pad damage, but it's also kind of important. Oh wait, I just realized I could be spec'd into something like... You probably want... You definitely want Wildfire if you're doing this. Forgot about that. Oh wait, yeah, you just do this. What am I doing? Because the only thing 2 in Flame Accelerant gives you is reduced cast time, which you're not really like worth a whole point. Yeah, this is probably the build though. We're probably gonna pump way harder now. My charring is falling. Their Phoenix. Hyperthermia. I have a Tinder proc. 100k Fireball. Blasting, blasting, blasting. Scorch to fill the gap. Blasting. Phoenix. Ring of Fire. Shifting. I have my Hyperthermia proc in a sec. It'll be on this Fireball Pyro. Need to reapply my charring though. Should have done that before. It's fine. Blasting. $20k Ignite without Mastery build. Just full on haste. I don't know voltage. I haven't tried to... It's just impossible to tell from me hitting a target dummy that has no versatility. It's just to get a feel. You definitely can't come to any conclusions based off of anything, you know? Okay, so there's another part of World in Flames. Look at this. Empowered Flame Strike dealing 200% more damage based on enemies' distance to the center of the Flame Strike. So you would probably play something like this. Let me see here. I don't know, just to fuck around. Get a flame patch, dude. How do I get to Stormwind? I spawned here when I copied my character. Not sure. I mean, the cast time on this thing is still abysmal. And it hits for 14k, so that's just, that's something. Alright, here we go. Actually, let's hit it on all three. Yeah, this is... Oh wait, it works for hypothermia? Wait. Hypothermia works with it? Look at this. It has a lot of anti-synergy with the tier set though, because the way you want to play your tier set to get that proc in the first place is by using direct damaging spells. This is the biggest pump ever, right here. Maintain my fire mine with fire blasting in between.